Hey everyone, what's going on? Okay, so in a previous video I mentioned how I eat a ketogenic diet and how it's really important to me, and someone recently commented about asking me what I would recommend eating, because it came up in the last, I posted a video about the book Fiber Menace, and I thought I'd talk about that because it's like I'm obsessed with this topic anyway. So I started eating keto about 4 years ago, and it takes some studying, and you definitely want to know what you're doing before you get into it, because it's not easy, especially if you have no idea what to eat. It's really difficult to remove carbohydrate out of your diet and then to know what to eat next. You walk into the kitchen, you have no idea what to eat. The first week I walked in the kitchen, I was just like, I ended up not eating that much food because I just didn't know what to eat. But it's a really delicious way of eating, and it forces you to become creative with how you cook, and it forces you to realize not only your relationship to food, but also like what food is to begin with, kind of, because at first it's really tempting just to replicate high carb recipes, but with like lower carb items, and that kind of doesn't really work, because then you're trying to eat the same way you were before, and that doesn't really make much sense, because the entire point is to replace unhealthy foods with healthy ones, and fat just has a different flavor profile than carbohydrate does. So you kind of just need to, I don't know, just eat differently. It's hard to explain, but anyway, the foods I actually do eat, one of my biggest staples is pork rinds. Let's put this up here. I buy these big, it's like 18 ounces? Yeah, I get these off Amazon, and they're great. The seal is really, it's like pretty airtight, no matter how much I pull that on and off and on. So I buy those off Amazon and eat them with sour cream. And that's perfect, because pork rinds are half protein and half fat. And then sour cream is like 90% fat. So if you get a good ratio of like about 50% sour cream and 50% pork rind for each bite, then it's like the perfect ratio, because a ketogenic diet is high fat, and you're eating about the same amount of protein you would on other diets. So like, 15 to 25%, I suppose. So it's not, people think it's a high protein diet. It's not. I personally don't like high protein. So pork rinds is like one of my major staples. It's great. I eat a lot of eggs. Like a lot of eggs. I also have access to farm fresh pastured eggs, where I live, and a lot of pastured meats as well, which is delicious. So I eat a lot of eggs, pork rinds, sour cream. I tend to eat butter with absolutely everything. I go through like 2 to 3 pounds of sour cream and butter every week, because I eat so much of it. I eat a lot of sausages, a lot of bacon, a lot of chicken, a lot of cheese. I put butter and cheese on absolutely everything. I eat pork rinds with the sour cream like a lot. One of my favorite snacks is heavy cream. I'll whip up heavy cream with some high protein yogurt and maybe a tablespoon of maple syrup, and it's like the most delicious thing, and it really adds a lot of texture, so I don't get bored at all. And I suppose that's mostly it. A lot of ketoers will do like leafy greens and such for like vitamins and minerals, but it's not strictly necessary. because honestly, animal products have a lot of vitamins and minerals in them to begin with. Especially, I like to, every now and then I'll get some bone broth or some like offal, like beef mixed with liver and heart, just to get another additional bonus. I'll go to the butcher and I'll get some of that, and they call it beef plus grind, and I'll cook it into a meatloaf. And that's like vegetables for me. It gets all the vitamins and minerals that I feel necessary to get. And I suppose that's it. Every now and then I'll have a handful of nuts, but I really don't like to eat fiber, which I suppose you know if you watched that review I made on fiber menace. I'm really, really, really sensitive to it, so I really need to keep that low. But nuts are delicious, and I'm really sad I can't eat that many of them. Yeah, and I guess that's all they really eat. It sounds simple, but it's like not like there's so many different ways you can cook eggs. There are a lot of different ways you can cook meat. And it's delicious. How am I? Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, that's pretty much it. Every time I go to the grocery store, I go to the meat aisle, and then I go to the dairy aisle, and then I'm done. And that's all you need to know. That's how I keto. It's delicious, but you really don't want to get into it unless you do your proper research first, and you have a strong foundation in the fundamentals of it. Yeah. But ask me if you have any other questions. It's an extensive topic, and I love it. So I would love to make more videos and talk about it for people, because it's a hot button topic, and it's an extensive one, and the science behind it is I wouldn't say complex, but it's definitely underground. So yeah, please ask away, and yay, bye.